Hey guys, and welcome to a mini King of the Hill stream today. Should be some good fun. It's going to be quite a short little stream. We do have 5 competitors raring to go and a couple of backups as well. It's going to be the standard King of the Hill tournament style. So the idea is winner stays on, loads of simple best of ones, and you're trying to get to the longest win streak as well as trying to get, become king at the end of the day. And our first 2 competitors are both DBD clan mates of mine. So we have Stormrunner and Parkmap. After this, we do have Papa Palpatine, who may have to be moved down the list as he is currently switching over onto the beta. We then have Red Legion, A Move Hacker, and then in backups we have Raptor, Malvader, I'm sorry I've completely butchered your name, and Ice Power, so should be some good fun. Just going to get you guys up on my phone so I can see the chat and interact with you guys. Hope you're doing all good today. It's gents or blinds. So for round 1, it is going to be gentleman pick or blind pick. But from that moment onwards, the king will get to pick 3 factions, his opponent will ban one and pick, and then the king himself can pick one of his 2. So it should be some good fun. Just getting you up on my phone now so I can see you lovely people. What's up, Zachary? Mr. Raptor, how's it going? I'm sure we're going to get a Raptor map in here at some point. Oh, Zachary, you just need to join the Discord. I think you're already there, but you'll be able to see how to play in the King of the Hills and so forth. Blind. Okay. Send me on Discord. So fingers crossed we're going to have no kind of connection problems today and so forth. It looks like CA has decided to extend the beta and have in fact done an update to it. So Silver and Guard have been nerfed slightly, which I can hear the thunderous applause of all people who are not High Elf fans. They've been a slight cost increase, only like 50 gold or something, so they're still going to be very powerful. And I believe a few of the Greenskin's abilities have been nerfed as well, including the fungi. What's up, Red Legion? Going to be good to see you shut your stuff on stream in a little while as well. Let's see. So it looks like we are having Parkmap Beastmen versus Coast. Oh, interesting. So, Beastmen versus Coast. This is a pretty good matchup for the Beastmen, I feel. There is lots of large, very scary units, of course, in the Force of the Coast, as far as crabs, Mongols can be fantastic here, and so forth. But the Beastmen, one of the best swarming factions in the game, especially on Troll Country, which is a relatively small map. They're going to be able to get to grips with the Coast build very quickly. But Stormrunner is a fantastic player in his own right, often brings really off-meta picks, which completely throw players out. So it'd be interesting to see how this does go. Don't have the game downloaded right now. No! Did I hit a dwarf buff incoming soon? I pray for Gorg. I pray. So I haven't really had time today, unfortunately, to go through all the kind of minute parts of the details of the changes to the beta. I've just been told 1 or 2 friends by a few of the guys in my clan. And it seems like pretty positive stuff. I am hoping the dwarfs do get a bit of a buff at some point as well. I'm a big fan of the Dowie Lords myself. Dowie don't need a buff. Oh, come on. I mean, they need some form of map control, because the dwarves can only be played in one way, realistically, and that's just defense. But, you know, it does, I suppose, suit their lore to a point. Yes, that's true. A lot of races that don't need buffs or get buffs and units. This is completely true. But I think CA do a very good job, for the most part, of balancing the game out to the best of their ability. There's so many different factions, and there's always going to be strong factions, strong units, and so forth. But it's nice to see that it does bump around and change a little bit as we kind of, go into Total Warhammer 3, which I'm incredibly excited for. Hobgoblins all the way. I will spam message CA up until release that I demand Hobgoblins. It's going to be beautiful stuff. But I hope you guys are doing all good today. Apologies that it's only going to be a short little stream, so just 5 main contenders today. But yeah, was working on, I think I'm allowed to say, don't think there's any problems with it, but I've got early access to one of the Total War games coming up, so I can't release anything for it yet, but I'm unsure if I am going to release a video for it. It's Total War Elysium, which is in fact a card game designed by Total War, which I don't normally play these type of games. I assume it's a bit like Magic the Gathering, but I've done the tutorial and stuff and kind of had a little play through. And then I briefly just checked if other YouTubers have already released some content for it, some of the kind of the bigger ones who have, and it's been unfortunately overwhelmingly negative kind of on all of the videos. People not from the people like who have actually played the game, but people do not like the idea of CA kind of going down this route. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bother kind of doing videos on it or whatnot, but I was kind of toying with that today. Hey, you Brit. Hey, man. How's it going, Magnus? Hope you're doing all good. Yeah, Zachary, they have cheap arty, but it's not really map control. That's just forcing your enemy into you. Oh no, Park Map has a spit. But they have no way of, like, slowing anything down. They can't flank. They can't get behind the enemy. It's just, it's a bit depressing, really. So hopefully Park Map didn't crash. If this is the beta messes up the stream, I'm gonna throw a fit and cry in a corner somewhere, surrounded by ducks. I met some ducks, by the way, yesterday. I went down to the park and there was like a load of ducks just like swarmed around me inside Bow, and it was awesome. So hopefully Mr. Park Map should be back in a second. My Wi-Fi is acting weird. Oh no! But if you go ahead, no worries. So, good news for you, Mr. Raptor. You are now onto the list. So it is going to be Storm, Palpatine, who I think is going to be a bit late, actually. So we're probably going to move on to Red Legion straight away. So we're going to have Storm, Red Legion, Palpatine, A-Move, and Raptor. So let's do Red Legion. You're up, bro. Yeah, Palmap's saying it's always when he tries playing on streams, unfortunately, and so forth, his internet acts up, which is a bit sad. So let's see if we can get the boy Red Legion in here instead. Looks like he's just popped on top of Warhammer, so that's all good. So Red Legion will replace Park Map, unfortunately. So let's sort this out. So we are going to go Stormrunner into Red Legion. Then we're going to check on Papa Palpatine, see if his update's done or not yet. We may have to move him further down the list if it's not. Then we've got A-Move, Raptor, and then waiting in the winds we have Malverde and Ice Powers. I'm going to butcher that name every time, I'm so sorry. I played with Ducky, and wow, Scourge Runners are the bane of my mind. Scourge Runners are horrible. Goat Riders for Dwarves. It'd be cool, man. It wouldn't fit Warhammer lore. It would fit Lord of the Rings lore, though. Same or repick. Repick, I'm afraid. Let's make sure Red Legion's on his way. I think he should be. Let's drop him a little invite. Dum, 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 dum. Where are you, boy? There you are. Bam. Password is 123 if you're listening. Yeah, you can flank with Rangers. They can flank and kite. They just can't. Like, people are like, oh, flank with Rangers. Cool. The enemy brings 1 unit of light cav. All of your Rangers are dead. It does not work very well at all. You can push, but it's really bad. There's a reason you see them play the exact same way in every single tournament. Heyo. Hey, Red Legion. Blind picks to me over Discord. Cool, let's update the scoreboard. To Mr. Red Legion. Sup, champ? Awesome, awesome. Looks like he's raring to go. So hyped for my D&D game. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the D&D. So yeah, some of the Poison Ducky, who's a fellow YouTuber, awesome guy and clanmate, is organising a D&D session. I'm not sure if we're going to stream it or anything, which should be good fun. Cool, looking at their picks now. Oh no! Oh no! No, guys, what have you done? What have you done? Oh god. It is a high elf mirror matchup. No. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh my god. No. So High Elf on the High Elf. Now, I know Red Legion does really enjoy High Elves quite a bit. His main factions, I believe, are High Elves and Empire. Stormrunner, I feel like he's a man of many talents. He kind of brings all different types of factions. But we're certainly going to see a ton of Dragon Princes here. Papa Palpatine, not again! Not again! High Elf Mirror seems to be the most common mirror for some reason. I suppose High Elves aren't bad for a blind pick, in my opinion. I think they're pretty versatile up against anyone. The relatively kind of upper echelons of the middle of the park, and kind of go toe-to-toe with anyone relatively effectively. You can go cheap archers, heavy infantry, heavy cav, big monster munch-ups, so you can do quite a decent amount of stuff. Now, Troll Country is going to force these guys to go pretty close quarters. Now, in this matchup, the majority of the time you'll see people bring triple Dragon Princes, as well as Alariel the Radiant, and whoever wins the Cav game wins overall. But with the inclusion of Silver and Guard, perhaps going a Silver and Guard and Phoenix Guard box build might be able to catch out your opponent if they do go for those Dragon Prince plays. It's going to be interesting. Oh no. I'm excited for Elf on Elf violence. I agree. I have a D&D Discord. When have you built a D&D Discord, man? That sounds awesome. Phineas Guard box. Yeah, Pop Palpatine. I think you know your stuff. No one dares brings the dragons. What's up, David the White Lizard? You're catching the start of a stream. This is a magical time. Hope you're doing good, man. Always great to have you around. So as I said previously, guys, we do have Stormrunner up against Red Legion here. After that, we'll be having Papa Palpatine if his update is done in time. We'll then be moving on to A-Move and Raptor. And we have two competitors waiting in the wings as well. I'm excited. We haven't streamed in a while, or we haven't had like consistent streaming for a while. Life just got a bit busy, so hopefully I'll be back to more streaming soon. I'm also really not a fan of betas. If you haven't heard any of my complaints over the previous like multiple streams, I just really hate them. It messes so much up as far as like people's games crashing and so forth while they try and fix out bugs. Half the people are on the beta, half of them aren't, and it looks like they're extending it though. So I was waiting to save the Death Before Dishonor finals, season 4 finals, which is a crazy set of players. I was going to wait till the beta's finished, but I think we're going to have to go ahead and probably do it next week. I'll have a word with the guys and probably do that Wednesday or Thursday, which is going to be insane. We have Noob for Life, Anticity, Tlaxlan, Soothsayer, and Tank, which is a ridiculous set of opponents. At least Kane would be happy. That's true. That's true. No one dares to bring the dragon except Ninja. Ninja loves a good dragon. So we are just doing the standard Warhammer Cup rules today. And what's going to happen after this point, it's blind picks for now, but as soon as the king wins a round, the king will be picking 3 factions. His opponent will be banning one and picking, and then the king will be picking his last faction. Should be some good stuff. I am very excited. Let's have a little sip. So, I also have another little project in mind. I hope people enjoy. I'm probably going to do an audiobook series as well, because people seem to be enjoying my British accent. So, I'm thinking of reading The Shadow King by, I'm just looking behind me, Gav Thorpe. So it's about Aleph Nar. It's not too huge a book, so I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'll probably just do chapters, like as a chapter per episode, and see if that's something people are interested in. Not sure if they will be or wouldn't be, but I'll definitely be happy to hear your thoughts on if that's something you would enjoy. Looks like these boys are ready to rumble. Let's hop in here on Troll Country. Who is your money on? The DBD legend, Stormrunner, or the extreme meme team, Red Legion? Man, the Clan Wars yesterday, we had DBD versus, I completely forget the name, Sons Under the Mountain, or Sons of the Mountain, I think it's called, the clan. I think they're mainly Dowie mains. It got me so pumped for more Clan Wars, so we're definitely going to be having them in the future as well. So here we are, loaded in nice and quickly on the glorious map of Troll Country. So, it looks like we do indeed have... Oh no! Did no one bring Dragon Princes? Oh no, it looks like Red Legion has gone for the standard pick. So let's see what Stormrunner has brought to the table. It looks like for Lord Choice, he does have Alariel the Radiant coming with Shield of Thorns, Earth Blood, Fast Protection, and Tempest. All the standard stuff. I actually quite like Tempest just in case the opponent brings a dragon. Well, it looks like there isn't one. And Mage of Light as well, coming in with Bronus, Time Warp, and Net. So very, very heavy on magic. There's definitely not going to be able to get through all of these spells, but I suppose it does give Stormrunner quite a lot of leeway on what they can can and cannot pick. It looks like they have gone for the defensive box, so double Phoenix Guard, one either flank, with Silver and Guard in the front. This is a bad to the bones death box. Lothran Sea Guard with shields in the back line. We have Rahagra's Pride as well in the centre pocket. Their their roar, their mighty roar, is going to be really useful as well, lowering the leadership of the enemy. There's also a couple of Heralds of the Wind. What is this? Illyrian Reaver, Regiment of Renowned. The fastest unit in the game, I believe, at least kind of non-flyers. So we have some Illyrian Reaver archers, as well as some White Lines of Chase in reserve. So a real fun death box build. Now for Red Legion, it looks like we also actually have some sneaky Illyrian Reavers in the back. Now for Red Legion, he has gone for the much more kind of standard pick in this matchup, but it's very good for a reason. So he does have White Lines of Chase along the front line, mixed in with basic Spearmen. These guys saturate on top of each other rather well. He also has a nice archer line, so 1, 2, 3 archers. These guys are going to be pretty key at pulling apart the Phoenix Guard and so forth. And for his punch, he has 1, 2 and 3 Dragon Princes, which are going to be absolutely deadly. Or they would be, but to be honest, there's not too much in this army they're going to be fantastic against. Looks like he has some more Spearmen left in reserve, and of course it is going to be Alarielle coming in with Tempest herself, Earthblood, Far's Protection, and Star of Avalon. He also has a Noble on horseback, who doesn't really have any good targets, to be honest. I mean, he can catch the cav and so forth, but if anything catches this cav, it's pretty much dead. But still, he can assassinate the mage and Alarielle pretty damn effectively. So it should be some good fun. Looks like we had a tiny bit of lag, but it's cleared up. So we are good to go. Who is your money on, guys? Can I hire you to tell me bedtime stories? That sounds pretty funny, man. I would be in for audiobooks. Nice. I've read a little bit. It is dark. It is very dark. I do quite enjoy dark stories, though, so... But yeah, it's just an idea, so we'll see what people think about it. Looks like these guys should be good to go. Ready, ready. Good luck, have fun. Get these boys cracking. So, is the White Lion pressure going to be enough to pull apart the Phoenix Guard, as well as the Silvern Guard? I quite like the inclusion of the White Lines. They should be able to beat down Silvern Guard relatively effectively with their nice, cheeky AP. Decent archer line as well is certainly going to be able to overwhelm the Lothran Sea Guard, although they are shielded, so they're trade very effective, but I believe they are slightly worse archers. Let's have a quick look as well. Range 180 up against 165. So this defensive box is going to have to get rather aggressive as well. Whoops. So in come the Dragon Princes, pushing down the left-hand flank. It looks like these Heralds of the Wind are currently hidden in the trees for the late game, although Dragon Princes may catch them accidentally just by trying to wrap around the opponent. And we're certainly going to get a full surround here from Red Legion. And yeah, the Lothran Sea Guard are going to have to push up here, as well as this box, just to put pressure onto the archers. You just want to sit back and allow these guys just, shooting shots consistently all day, every day. So it looks like the arrows are going to Silvern Guard, which isn't the best idea. These guys do have a whopping silver shield as well as 75 armor, which is pretty damn nice. Looks like Lothran Sea Guard, they are trading with White Lines at the moment, but they certainly need to push up and start focusing down at these archers. It looks like the Dragon Princes are getting shot at now by the Heralds of the Winds, but they have managed to corner these guys, which is really dangerous. Hopefully these guys are not on skirmish mode, because they will simply run to that corner and get trapped. Stormrunner's going to have to be very careful here with his movement. He definitely has the room to get out of there, but he needs to split those guys up and try and escape where possible. Lothran Sea Guard now trading fire with the archers relatively effectively because of their shields, despite the fact they took some shots before they moved into position. Nice play as well, moving up the Silvern Guard for a bit of a gap between them and the Sea Guard. Archers should probably fall back out of range of the Lothran Sea Guard before re-engaging, just so they can pull these guys even more out of their position, allowing the Dragon Princes to really loop around that flank and hammer in the rear of the Phoenix Guard, which will do some nice damage despite their anti-large. Silvern Guard hold bracing, and bam! In comes the crash of the White Lines. A bit of a damp noodle attack, to be honest. Didn't really fling any of these troops back, and Spearman versus Silvern Guard is going to be absolutely a boring basically over there. White Lines of Chase move in to counter the enemy's White Lines of Chase, which is certainly going to do good. However, the Noble is starting to push through. That Mage of Light maybe wants to drop a net relatively soon. Dragon Princes do push into the back line, and this could be dangerous. Lothran Sea Guard do counter-charge, but in come the Rahagra's Pride as well as Alarielle. The Mighty Roar has been popped, and the Dragon Princes are going to be getting out of dodge, trying to escape where possible, which is really good play so far. Now, it looks like the Illyrian Reavers did get shut down. Looks like some archers being forced off, so one unit is is running to the hills, but they are distracting a unit of Dragon Princes, which is fantastic value. However, it looks like the Regiment Renowned ones, oh no, did survive. They're in fact chasing down some more Dragon Princes in the back line there. So a net has been popped onto these Dragon Princes, and they are slowly getting picked apart. The Rahagra's Pride fantastically tearing down these mighty and noble High Elves off their steeds and clawing them to the ground. Really effective play. Lothar and Sigurd doing a fantastic job. Now in the front line, Phoenix Guard are just holding for absolute days. However, the Noble is kind of turning this centre engagement, so it's going to be a grind fest, and now the archers are completely online. These Illyrian Reavers need to drop back here and just start cycle charging in the rear of these archers, break them and force them off as quickly as possible. Heralds of the Wind have somehow been caught here by Dragon Princes with their super speed. They really should not be getting caught here. Need to fall back immediately as they're very close to the board edge and they'll be scared off rather quickly. There's some Lothar and Sigurd rallying in the distance, but one unit of Dragon Princes has been more or less dealt with. It's a pretty close game. But yeah, these Illyrian Reavers deep in enemy territory need to come back and start cycle charging these archers just to break them up, as that consistent arrow fire is going to be a real pain. Now, a Brightness Time Warp in the centre pocket would be delicious and really help clear up these white lines and now charging Dragon Princes. Looks like we have a little bit of lag, but it is starting to subside here, which is all good to see. And in the back lines, Dragon Princes, yeah, 9 models here aren't going to do too much, but 45 is still very scary. I believe the other unit is... oh, no, they charged into the front line, didn't they, the other unit? So the other unit as well is relatively healthy. There's still a lot of Phoenix Guards dotted around. You can see on the left-hand flank, they've managed to beat down white lines of chase, and they'll be able to deal with these spearmen as well. The consistent archer fire coming in is really starting to pay its toll here. Phoenix Guard pulling apart Spearman in the centre pocket, and a big fat Earthblood has come down here by Red Legion onto his Dragon Princes just to try and keep them fighting. Now, the problem with High Elves, they do really struggle with units such as Dragon Princes, hard, heavy cav, because a lot of their units which are designed to deal with them are archers, of course, can be run over by them, and units such as Phoenix Guard, who can get cycle charged to death. But what a brilliant play! A net of Amantok coming down. These Phoenix Guard now need to turn and engage these Dragon Princes and just pull them apart. Alariel is here as well as the Rahagra's Pride, who are a little bit beat up themselves, but still 10 models doing some fantastic work. And these Dragon Princes, again, absolutely nuked. Star of Avalon and Fire's Protection has been dropped to keep them alive here, but if they get broken, they could be chased off the battlefield. But really lovely star play by Red Legion, keeping those guys active. Mage of Light is chasing off some Dragon Princes in the distance, and the frontline engagement is slowly turning red as the Phoenix Guard look to be getting overwhelmed in the distance. We do have some Dragon Princes being, oh no, Illyrian Reavers being forced off. They did manage to shut down some archers though, which is some nice play. But yes, those Dragon Princes did manage to escape with 27 models, so that almost was a complete disaster. Managed to turn around, luckily, there. Mage of Light is now getting in the front line. Really lovely net play so far. I don't know if the Time Warp was necessary as well, considering all the Winds of Magic Alariel needs to use. I don't know if we've seen her use any of her Star of Avalon. She didn't bring Star of Avalon. Very odd choice. Star of Avalon, I would say, is almost always a pick. Star of Avalon on Phoenix Guard, for example, can be really good play. Rahagra's Pride are charging back in, launching themselves into glorious combat against the Dragon Princes, and they've been a really good counter to them so far all game, but they are getting very low health-wise. However, Red Legion is running out of ammunition. He is basically completely out of ammunition on 2 units, and 1 unit is very beaten up. Phoenix Guard is still going strong, and we're going to see another net coming down on these Dragon Princes. We are indeed, just as they go to charge in to try and break the back of Stormrunner's build here on the Silver and Guard and Rahagra's Pride. They have been netted once more, and Phoenix Guard simply going to trot over and start annihilating these bad boys very quickly. And Earthguard has been popped though in retaliation. In this centre pocket though, it looks like the Noble has done absolute huge work so far in winning key engagements, and the Dragon Princes are so beat up at this point, but so are all the forces of Stormrunner. It looks like the balance of power is going at Red Legion's favour. These Dragon Princes are getting absolutely decimated by the Phoenix Guard, but once again, due to good healing play coming in by Alariel, they're going to be able to retreat, heal up, and come back into the fray once more. Archers completely out of ammunition at the moment. Yeah, these guys just dropped down to 0. But the Phoenix Guard on the left-hand flank, 96 kills is very impressive. But they've been focus fired for a considerable amount of time now and are going to be going down here. So an extended Earthblood going to keep in this last unit alive, but I don't think it's going to be enough realistically. Alariel can try and help out as well in the main engagements, but she's not designed to fight in kind of long dragged out engagements up against nobles and so forth. We'll be able to decimate her very quickly. Phoenix Guard trying their best, but it looks like they are going to start to break as the balance of power does slip away here from Stormrunner and his blue High Elves. So if we have a quick look around the battlefield, there is some units dotted all around, and it looks like their Silver and Guard are starting to flee. Armor losses will be setting in relatively soon, I think. It looks like the Hero Corps is kind of keeping this High Elf build together. Phoenix Guard simply going to be chased off by archers now, which is a bit of a disgraceful way for those guys to go, unfortunately for them in the annals of their history. White Lines are chased, trying to do a decent job and shut down these Dragon Princes, but instead the Dragon Prince is going to roam through them, and that is going to be game. Clan Wars. Yes, we do Clan Wars. That's pretty good stuff, man. Darth Pendragon, no worry, you haven't missed it too much, man. White Lines actually seem fun in this matchup. Yeah, White Lines seem to do decent work. I actually quite like White Lines saturated on top of Silver and Guard as well against Lizardmen. But really fun build. The standard competitive pick here coming from Red Legion. The triple Dragon Princes with the Star and Healing from Alario is so key. Stormrunner with the crazy, kind of slightly more off-tilt and crazier build. Double Phoenix Guard performed absolute wonders, especially combined with the net play from the Mage of Light. Hargra's Pride, real MVPs for him. Constantly pouncing upon those Dragon Princes wherever they roamed, but he didn't quite have enough in the end. I think the Illyrian Reavers were pretty much wasted, so they probably could have been dropped for a little bit more to help protect the back line. Yeah, maybe just an extra unit of Silver and Guard, honestly, or maybe even just some White Lines, or... Actually, no, he should have got some... oh, what are they called? The Rangers. Yeah, drop the Illyrian Reavers, add a couple of Rangers in there. They decimate the Spearmen, allow the Silver and Guard to focus on targets they really need to get at. But still, very fun game overall, and some pretty fun builds. GG. I forgot the Star, that lost me the game. Yeah, if he had brought the Star, oh no, those Phoenix Guard could have been a lot tougher. So, Papa Palpatine, are you ready? If not, we will be moving on to a move. Let's update the scoreboard quickly. Red Legion. And I will quickly go find out who is ready. Oh no, Papa Palpatine is going to be dropping out as well. No! Okay, no worries. So, we do have a move, so we're going to be using some of our backups today. So we are now going to be having Red Legion versus a move, then Raptor, then Malvidere, whose name I say different every time. So hopefully you guys are all tuning in. Let's invite a move, just to make sure these guys know. Oh no, a move, what is your name? Okay, I'll send a message on Discord. Cute. And then cool. So we will have a move, Raptor, Malverd, and then we do also have Ice Power in the last reserve slot. If I can get my words out here. Cool. So message in Discord. We'll give him a couple of minutes. Guys, got the Star. Yeah, man. That sucked. The Star on the Phoenix Guard and some of those key engagements probably would have won it for you. I mean, it's tough to tell. There's some really nice cycle charges coming in from the Dragon Princes. No! Everyone's dropping out. Jesus Christ. That's okay. Cool. Looks like Red Legion is going to drop out as well. So we're going to be using our full list of backups today. So we will have a move versus Raptor next, then Malverd, then Ice Powers. No worries. So, hopefully A-Move and Raptor are listening in chat. You guys are up now. And simply switch to a nice map. While we do wait for these boys to sort themselves out. Nah, not Summer Song. Let's go Robot Maxon. It's one of my favourite maps. Cool. So let's invite in Raptor. If I can find him, message him on Discord. QQ. So Raptor's popped in. Quack! Quack quack! So, no reply from Amy yet. I'll send him a PM. Cool, so apologies guys about all the having to sort stuff out. This does happen in live streams, unfortunately. Is this the final match? No. No. We had a few dropouts. So, we are going to be dipping into our reserves here. Cool, I'll add you to the list at the bottom, Pendragon as well, just in case. So, we are going to be having, hopefully, a move if he does reply. If not, we will move on. We'll have a move and Raptor, Malverd as well, representing, I believe, BBB, and Ice Power. What's up, Wicked D? How's it going, bud? I hope you're all good in the herd. Kill A move's not responding, so we can move on. Okay, give him a couple of minutes. I'll give him another 2 minutes. If he doesn't respond, we'll move on, and Malverd will take his place. Which will be good stuff. Royal Maxim, one of my favourite maps as well. Mainly because it's a competitive map, which is actually Lizardman themed, which is pretty rare. It is a deceptive map, though, as there is no river, or at least not as it is shown in this picture. The river is actually where the battle is taking place. Raptor saying he's not going to get hit by his own maps. He is notorious for bringing some pretty sketchy maps into us. So Red Legion is currently the king, but we are going to take that away. Add in Raptor. Hopefully a move if he answers. I know he was keen to play. We'll probably just switch him and the next competitor around if possible. Cool, FPod. I'll add you to the end as well, just in case. This is on the beta, so make sure you guys are on the beta. Cool. Cool. 1 more minute a move, and then we'll be moving on. How are you guys doing today, though? Hope you're all good. It's been a relatively stressful day so far, but a nice chill King of the Hill. At the end of the day, you know, just to calm down, make it all things all nice and good, is just what I needed. We currently have a huge hole in our ceiling of our living room, and it's flooding pretty much every day because we live in Britain and our weather is pretty terrible. So I had like landlords over today and all sorts of kind of craziness trying to sort out and get money off, and it's been a bit of a nightmare. Cool. Let's move on then. So we can move a move down the list if he does respond afterwards. Move is cool. Just sent a message to Malverd. I'm going to keep saying his name different every single time. Well, give me time to pick a map. Indeed, Raptor, indeed. Should be a fun game regardless. Cool. Just let him know that he's up. If you can't find the lobby, send me a PM with your Steam code. QQ. Chosen one saying A4. Cool. Hey, here we go. Malapato is his name on here. Perfect. Hey. Hey, bud. So we are going to have to do blind picks again, unfortunately. Blind picks or gents. As there is currently no king with a Red Legion. Has got his 1 streak. Going to be bowing out as a proud king. Getting his victory. But we will see. So whatever these guys would rather do, blind picks, gents, it doesn't really matter to me. Either way will be fine. And up after this, we will have Ice Power playing, which should be some good stuff. Or A move if A move comes back in time. So we'll have A move into Ice Power, or if A move doesn't respond, we'll have Ice Power into Pendragon. Oh, both work for me. What about a grudge match? Oh, this sounds fun. Sounds fun. I'm interested. You've gained my attention. Hope you guys are enjoying, by the way. Apologies for all the downtime, as we get people connected and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, just had a couple of people drop out, which is fine, understandable. Real life stuff does pop up, unfortunately. Who are you feeling? Oh, looks like he's relatively confident. Let's change his name quickly. So we'll go with that name, Malpato, because that's an easier name to pronounce. My feeble brain. My coasty boys. Oof. Oof. I suppose I'll go BBB and try lizards. I love it. Oh, that's a rough matchup. That is rough. It's probably my least favourite matchup to play as the lizard men. By far. Pato is Spanish for dark. This is glorious. That's why. Oh, Malpato, so he's Malduck. That's amazing. That's amazing. I can actually say it now. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So we are seeing the lizardmen represented, which is one of my favourite things, of course, to see. And though, yeah, this is, I would probably say almost everyone would agree that it's their worst matchup, closely followed by Skaven. There's just so many layers of undead zombies to crawl through before you can shut down their guns. They have so much cheap AP, and part of the lizardmen's strength can be in their real tough and tanky, you know, relatively cheap units for how tanky they are. You know, Saurus Warriors and so forth. You don't want to bring Temple Guard here. Big dinosaurs as well get pulled apart very quickly. Now, you can go very cav heavy, but at the same time, how cheap halberds can pull you down, and it can be a bit of a nightmare. So I think the best way to play this is to go incredibly wide, unless, of course, you are Mr. A-Move, who I've seen play this before, with a Dread Saurian. You go to Pterodons, you bomb rush the enemy as quickly as possible, and then you just rush into that back line with a big, nasty Dread Saurian. And the enemies, if they're not prepared for that type of big monster, a little bit of mind games, because like, oh, they're not going to bring too many guns, because they're not going to bring any dinosaurs. But then you bring a big old dinosaur and they just don't have enough to deal with him. So it can work very well. Now, Depth Guard here do have a bit of a niche pick. They can pull apart Lizardmen infantry incredibly quickly. They basically take no damage up against Saurus due to the fact they heal in combat as well. Looks like Mr. Raptor is ready. Just waiting on Malpato. What a name. What a guy. Just going to refresh my stream a bit. It looks like it has frozen. Unfortunately, I do have to chat to you guys off my phone, which is a little bit frustrating and annoying, but it's all good. Have a sip of my drink while I do wait. Nice, nice. Let's just double check. Yeah, looks like we're all good. Sweet! Ooh, I'm excited. I am excited. I don't really play Vampire Coast myself too much, probably because of my hatred of playing against them, that I just never really kind of gravitated towards them. But at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan, I suppose, thematically, of the undead factions, which is kind of sucky because they're all relatively powerful, Counts being the weakest, but they still definitely can pack a punch. There's a few, one or two kind of like tank, poison duck and so forth, are real kind of top Vampire Counts players, and it can be a real struggle to actually break through them. Looks like Malpato is ready. Okay, this might go terribly. I love it. I love the confidence. Let's rock and roll, guys. So who is going to be the second king of the hill? We should do a king under the mountain stream at some point. We should basically just be a king of the hill, but with a cooler name. I've actually been watching clips of The Hobbit recently. Now, I know The Hobbit is nowhere near on the same level as Lord of the Rings, but Watching the Dowie beat the snot out of the elves is so satisfying. It's so satisfying, because Lord of the Rings elves, even compared to Warhammer elves, are real, like, snobby, and they kind of up themselves. It's always good to see them brought down a peg or two. Here we are, river and max on. So normally the river runs through here. It must have been gone for quite a while, considering all the trees which are up. But you can see there is the kind of driver bed along the flank there. So we have nice little hills as well on the left-hand side, where you can dart in the middle, which allows some sneaky stabbings. And my God, Raptor, what have you done? What have you done? So Raptor is going to be bringing Count Noctilus on foot. Looks like he does have his summon dial, invocation heck, all that kind of good standard stuff. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sirens. What is this pure madness? Now, once I did play a legal build on a Raptor's King of the Hills stream as well, because he does in fact have a Twitch account himself, and I brought undead paladins and sirens and diaphin and all this good stuff. But this is pretty crazy. Depth guard with pole arms, including the Regiment of Renowned version. The Bloody Reavers, I don't even know their name because I've never seen them. Their colour scheme is fantastic, by the way. On their like little loincloths here, that skull with the S through it is gangster as hell. These guys do have Enrage, so they have a 44% damage resistance. Looks like it lasts for 22 seconds, so you do have to pop it. Pretty interesting build. Deck drop is up in the sky, including the Salt Lord Scuttlers. Looks like we have Fellbats as well for backline harass. So this is a strange build, to say the least. Now, coming in by Mel Pato here. Pterodon Riders up in the sky, which are a fantastic pick here. Looks like we have these just basic ones on the right-hand side. Yeah, so 2 units of the basic ones. He does, in fact, have a Bastildon with Rev Crystal, which is a pretty good pick, as well as Mazda Mundian. Oh, no. Does he have... Oh, he has Ruination Cities and Banishments. He is going to destroy those Sirens. Shield of the Old Ones, Arcane Unforging, Apotheosis, and Net Play. So Net and Banishment could be deadly here. We have a Saurus Scarvection on foot, a unit I don't get to see too often at all. So I always like seeing new players on my channel. I believe this is Mel Pato's first time here. And you get to see some units that I don't ever really get to use too much. Plague of Dominion as well. -8 leadership is a interesting choice. Skink Priest of Heavens coming in as well, with Urian's Fun Belt to deal with artillery pieces and so forth, and Wind Blast is going to be discussed in here. A Bacillon with Solar Engine, and then a front line of Skink cohorts dotted all the way along, just the basic ones, with some Red Crested hidden in the trees in a kind of wide, heavy hitting flank on the left hand side, as well as another Gary Bastildon. This is some crazy stuff. This is some crazy stuff. No worries, Darth Pendragon. No worries, my dude. Yeah, this is wild indeed. I feel the same way. Oh, this is beautiful stuff. So, Soul Engine does actually hit some Fellbats initially, so it's going to want to change its target. You see the other one has already started hitting these Sirens. I mean, the Sirens are going to decimate the Skink cohorts and Red-Crested Skinks. They're basically going to be useless throughout the majority of the battle. But they will be pinned in, and some big nasty banishments could really come into play here. Let's see, the Bastildon with Rev Crystal doesn't do magic damage or anything, and the Skinks are getting decimated without doing any damage in return, which is pretty good. Red Crested Skinks have poison, but no magic damage, but they are going to wrap around the flank, which could help them, and getting the Red Crested onto the depth guard with polearms will be pretty damn good, but the entire front line of Skinks is gone. A nice Wind Blast does start to punish some of the Sirens, but this is going to be really quite tough here. Gary sitting up on the his high ground here. They're happily going to be shooting down into the Sirens all day. It looks like the Hero Blob has decided to kind of chill out on this right-hand flank. Looks like a Net of Amantok has hit these Sirens. Are we going to see a Ruination of Cities? We are. Is it going to catch them properly? That's a question. No, one wide. No, one wide. So it looks like they have not fixed the Ruination of Cities bug. That is super frustrating. They all went in the same direction, doing no damage to the Sirens. Now, Lord Mazdamundi will be okay in combat against the majority of this army, which is not something you hear terribly often. Sirens are starting to take punishment here. This unit has been completely surrounded, so they are going to start to crumble, unfortunately, which is one of their weaknesses, of course. And the Gary in the trees, up to 22 kills, is still going to do some fantastic work overall. Pterodon Riders are being chased away by Fellbats, which is not good for them at all. It looks like the Scarvection is going to have to pop down here. Lord Mazdamundi needs to get his hands dirty and pop into combat as well with his magic damage. Looks like he is floating over here to get a nice banishment in. Should be able to catch Death Guard as well as the Sirens. And it looks like it is going to rotate a lot through the Sirens. Oh my god, that value. These guys get absolutely decimated. Down to just 1,200 health. That was some really good work there by the big Mazda. Coming in with those 24 kills on Sirens is certainly no joke. So the first Ruination of Cities was a bit of a swing and a miss, but that worked pretty well, the second banishment. Now, he's trying to protect his Gary as much as possible in combat with his own magic damage, and he does punch relatively strong, but his melee attack currently 17 is dreadful. But he does have 360 weapon strength, but that magic damage is certainly going to help up against the Sirens. Now, the Skink Priest of Heavens is being protected here by some of these flying Pterodon riders, hopping down and deleting some of these Sirens, but the Saurus Scar Veteran is completely useless here. The Basilion Soul Engine needs to fire into these guys as they are blobbed up. Now, over on the other flank, it looks like the Salt Lord Scuttlers are doing some pretty good work. They've actually managed to break up this formation. The red-crested skinks have all been clogged together quite bunched up overall, trying to surround the Sirens where possible, which is the good play, but when you have these guys floating around, it can cause you problems, but they're running rather low on ammunition. Red-crested skinks are trying to hound the depth guard, though, and the polearm depth guard are just pretty terrible all round. The other Basilodon is starting to push forward as well. Shield of the Old Ones has come down here. It looks like Soul Scarf and Slunk's going to be coming down on him in a second. But yeah, the other Gary has been completely surrounded at this point, and this is not where he wants to be. His magic damage is, of course, only range damage. So being surrounded by Sirens, he will slowly be prison shanked to death. Oh no, this could be disastrous here as well from Alpato, as the Skink Priest of Heavens has been completely surrounded, which is going to be real problems. His Wind Blast can be really key into this late game, as well as Urion's Thunderbolt as well. The someone with Red Crystal is going to be running in. Oh, we're going to get a fat ruination of cities coming down here. Boom, boom, boom. Although, once again, it doesn't look like it catches the Sirens or the Bloody Reavers. Just kind of the cheap zombie pirate deck cam mob. So, really frustrating ruination of cities. Unfortunately, does go that way sometimes. As Basilodon does dart in here, desperately trying to save his friend. Felbats are chasing down Pterodon Rise, doing a decent job overall. You can see in the distance as well, they've managed to catch and delete one unit. And this is tough to decide who's going to win this overall. One pretty memey army and the other pretty wild as well. Basilodon has been obstructed apparently here, which is a little bit frustrating for him. But Red Crest Skinks have finally managed to drag down these Sirens for the most part. And these Depth Guard as well. Depth Guard are going to struggle. So the kind of battle has formed into two pockets of strength. Looks like the Lizardmen have maybe slowly started to drag ahead, as another banishment is going to be coming down on these Sirens. The minion has been popped as well, but it looks like it's done some decent damage, but it is starting to rotate away, unfortunately. You can see the health still ticking down a little bit. Doing some decent work overall. Saurus Scar Veteran is getting pulled apart. Lord Mazdamundi is slowly working his way through the Sirens as well. However, he does not want to tangle the Depth Guard with polearms, especially the Bloody Reavers here. Looks like the poor Red Crystal has started to break, but he should come back, as it looks like the Fell Bats are instead focused on the Skink Priests of Heavens. Looks like the Solar Engine is active once again, been firing in, doing some decent damage overall, up to 38 kills. And the Lizardmen should be able to clean up the low ground here and force her way up here to help assist Lord Mazdamundi. He is in the Shield of the Old Ones here, but looks like it does unfortunately just disappear. Somehow this Saurus Scar Veteran, an absolute tank of the people, looks like he may have been getting held up a little bit. Going toe-to-toe with Count Oculus still, is going to start rotating around, and he's going to be needed to help bring down the Depth Guard. The Rev Crystal has rallied, so he certainly needs to come back to the forefront. And these Pterodon Riders perhaps can get in here, mess up these Felbats, and save the Skink Priest of Heavens. He'd be very useful coming into that late game. Once again, we've seen Apotheosis come down on the Saurus Scar Veteran, keeping him nice and active. And poor Count Oculus got netted and then shot from the Gary on the low ground, as the other one comes in and punts the Vampire Lord right in the face, pin him on his backside here. He's beaten him down pretty bad, but Invocation of Heck, Basilodon does not want to get hit in here and fight too long. He's up to Silver Chevron now, which is very impressive. Depth Guard have completely surrounded the Saurus Scar Veteran here. Looks like the Skinks and Red Crested Skinks really need to get in here and help clear up this blob. Lord Mazdamundi simply going to be floating away. He does have his own banishment spell as well, which is going to be really useful. It's not just the bound ones. And the Pterodon Rise, though, are being desperately trying their best to save the Skink Priest, but I don't think it's going to happen. Depth Guard do have a Plaque of Dominion put on them again, lowering their leadership by 8. Now, I suppose it does make them crumble quicker. It's an interesting item that I don't get to see too often, at least. Lord Mazdamundi is going to be pushing in here as well, but the Red Crystal is starting to struggle, as well as the Saurus Scar Veteran. But in come the Red Crested Skinks. These guys will be a pretty damn good counter to Depth Guard overall. With their decent AP, they should be able to punch through that 90 armor rather effectively. Although they are all pretty broken, beat up themselves, and relatively low on leadership and so forth. Bloody Reavers do get an Invocation of the Heck on them. Do these guys cause terror or anything? I thought kind of cool. So they know those cause fear. But the Iron Rage is pretty damn useful as well. On the low ground, we have some Summon Zombie Pirate Deck Cam mobs who are here to protect Count Oculus, who gets a shot directly to the face here from this Silver Chevron Basilodon, and he's going to get flung around a little bit as well. These guys certainly want to use up all their ammunition, probably just popping into the Bloody Reavers and so forth would be some good value now, as that Red Crystal once again has been broken here, and those heals can be really key into the late game. Lord Mazdamundi, though, is getting healed up right now, and he's just chilling, bringing up those winds of magic, which is a good idea. Red Crested Skinks are starting to break though, and it is going to leave the Bastiladons basically alone. And normally they would do quite good in the late game like this, but surprisingly, the Depth Guard Polearms may be able to carry this victory down the Pirates. We can see all around the place, Fellbats are chasing down Terran Rise, really nice play. Good diligent play coming by Raptor as well, chasing off the Skink Priest of Heavens. Now over in the centre pocket, I mean, this is what's going to decide everything now. The fight up on the high ground here. Apotheosis healing up the Saurus Scar veteran. He needs to get in here and start doing some work. The Bastiladon, yeah, it's pretty tanky, but he does not want to be fighting the anti-large Bloody Reavers, who have popped in Rage as well, giving them a 44% damage resistance. That's a pretty damn cool ability. Looks like a ton of the Skinks have rallied in the trees here and can come back. I mean, every little bit of damage does help, I suppose. But of course, the Bloody Reavers, as well as these Depth Guard, have hunger, so they'll eat up Skinks all day, every day, heal up as they do go. So it's going to be pretty cool. It looks like it is actually the Bound Banishment, so he's used up both his banishments and Ruinations of City, so he can Arcane on Forging, Net, and Apotheosis left. That's going to be pretty unfortunate here. Gary does miss his shot as his brother, Barry, does knock over Count Noctis, unfortunately. More Red Crested Skinks are coming back from distance, but they're consistently breaking every time they do come into battle here. I feel like this may be going in the forces of the High Cyrene build. Depth Guard trying their best here. Mazdamundi has had to push himself into combat. He is okay in combat. Nothing crazy, but he's very thick. Shield the Old Ones as well as the Skinks do pile in is a really nice play. The Saurus Scavenger, if he had his pack now, would be a nice time to drop it as these guys do start getting completely surrounded. Looks like the deck droppers are popping on top of Skink Horse, trying to stop them getting into the main engagement. And Gary's trading pretty damn effectively against Count Noctis, which is hilarious. Considering he is, anti-large with his halberd in here, he should be doing fine. But the Bastiladons are taking him to town, constantly flinging him onto the ground. It's a very slow fight, however, but oh no, we have a massive chain route for the Lizardmen in the centre pocket. Units are starting to shatter. Mazdamundi has had to fall back as well, and the Saurus Scar veteran is broken. The double Depth Guard are going to carry this, I think. They can handle the Bastiladons, even if Count Noctis does go down, who is being poisoned right now, which is lowering his stats and so forth, and getting hammered down by these Bastiladons. He is at his healing cap as well. Lord Mazdamundi is being mucked up by Fellbats. Big idea to move the Depth Guard on top of him. In fact, just move the Depth Guard on top of Count Noctis and grind out the fight is probably going to be the best way. Red Crests have started to shatter. This Saurus Scar veteran is certainly going to get chased down by the Fellbats. There's no way Raptor is going to let them escape. And yeah, Count Noctis, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him to endure the double Gary penetration. But at the same time, I think he's more up for the task with the help from his allies here. Lord Mazdamundi floating over here. Probably wants to get in combat now with Count Noctis. The only way he's going to win this is by breaking him and kind of shattering these units and forcing them to crumble. But even with Noctis going, these Depth Guard are more than happy at the moment to tank this damage up against the Skinks and simply heal up as they do so. Count Noctis started this engagement over here, and look how far he has been punted, all the way down to the low ground. It's over, Noctis. The Barrys have the high ground, but looks like, unfortunately, the Jedi Mazdamundi shall fall here, most likely. Let's see. Is he gonna, yeah, let's throw in some javelins now. Just waiting for that ramrod of a charge. He's actually going to shoot him point blank rage in the back. That is some disgusting plays. Count Noctis down to just 1,300 health. Red Crescents are rallying, desperately going to be trying to come back and slow down the advance of the Bloody Reavers. It's a really badass name now that I think about it. It's really sad we don't get to see them too often. Lord Mazdamundi just bobbing around as he does. Shield of the Old Ones has been popped as well. I mean, Count Noctis down to 1,000 health. If he breaks, maybe some cycle charging come in here. Balance Pirate is in favour of the Vampires. I think it's a mistake leaving Lord Mazdamundi out of combat. He needs to get in here and help take down Count Noctis. Every hit matters at this point. And it looks like, unfortunately, one of the Bastiladons has been isolated up on the high ground by the Depth Guard. That has left Count Noctis down here. But unfortunately, the traitor Bastiladon shoots his own Bastiladon in the back, which isn't too good. Looks like Apotheosis is going to be healing them up here, though. Count Noctis down just to 835 health. He needs to get in there and start fighting him as quickly as possible. Looks like he's just kind of janking around a little bit here. As the other one, yeah, surrounded by the Bloody Reavers. Riven Rage popped as well. They are tearing him limb from limb. His thick hide is being ripped apart by those halberds. Mazdamundi, and so poor Bastiladon, this animation is really annoying. A few of the big dinosaurs have when they attack with their rear. It allows the enemy to hit you on the negative melee defense. And yeah, he's being pulled apart though. 400 health, he is low, but Mazdamundi stands alone, unfortunately. Apparently there is still 53 lizards alive, but they are kind of all fleeing and dotted around the battlefield. He could turn around now, maybe get a blast into Count Noculus. Down to 59 health. Mazdamundi is not going down without a fight. Dropping those fat nukes on Count Noculus, and down Noculus goes. It is simply the depth guard here, but great play here by Raptor. He's going to be chasing off Malpato's Bastillodons, forcing those guys away, and Mazdamundi cannot tank this to the death. If he had brought Banishment himself, this battle would have been over a while ago, but it's quite risky, especially when you have 2 Banishments of your own. Oh, you were playing your PS3? No worries, man. A-Move, if you're still around, you can still be in the list, dude. Has your game updated? Please do let me know. Nice, Elizabeth. I like the stream. Two pretty wild builds coming in. The Heavy Skink Rush. I really like the inclusion of the Foot-Saur Scarvich. And Mazdamundi, 141 kills. If he got a bit lucky with his banishments or ruinations, maybe he would have turned around. But Raptor, the full Cyrene Polearm Depth Guard Rush. The new meta. You heard it here first. Those builds were wild. GG. Bastillodon Betrayal. Yeah, shooting his buddy in the back. Was very sad there, but GG's overall. So Raptor is the current king. So let's have a quick look. No worries. Cool. So A-Move will either be coming back in now, or we will be moving on instead to, I believe, it will be Mr. Ice Power. Okay. So A-Move is dropping out. You are... Bro. So the Ice Power is in fact playing a different game. Cool. I won't lie, I did not expect that to work. It was pretty wild, I'm not going to lie. So let's update the score. So Raptor is the current king of the hill. Glorious stuff. And hopefully, Ice Power will be taking his place there. So, looks like Ice Power is actually doing a different game at the moment. So I will message him one more time, see if he responds. I'll give him a couple of minutes. If not, we will have to move on, which I believe will be F-Pod. Cool. So, massive shout out for one there. Salt Scuttler's OP confirmed. Go Raptor! Raptor did very good indeed. Some pretty crazy stuff. That was wild. That was a wild build. I did not think that would work. I did not think that would work at all. But it did. It did. Raptor known to bring pretty wild stuff indeed. So, Ice Power hasn't responded yet. I'll give Militia a couple more minutes. And if not, we'll be moving on to F-Pod. So sorry guys about the delay between games. We've had a lot of dropouts and stuff, which does happen unfortunately live stream. That's kind of one of the reasons why I've been preferring doing the standard videos at the moment. That's become much easier to organise and sort out while the beta is active, of course. That was pretty damn insane. So let's switch up the map. Let's go Plain of Spiders, which is a pretty fun map overall. I think it's the polearms in OP. They managed to win the day there. Cool. I can see if Ice Power is up afterwards. If not, F-Pod. I will message F-Pod. And double check he's all good. Sweet. If you can't find the lobby, send me a Steam code. Okay, Ice Power is back for the final game. Sweet, made M. Perfect, we have F-Pod. Cool. Hello there. So, the king picks 3, and F-Pod bans 1 and picks. Extreme Meme Team Civil War, unfortunately. Let's update the scoreboard here. So... it looks like... Ice Power is trying to update his game as we speak. So, if it's not updated by after this game, we'll have one more random competitor chosen from you guys, the audience. Perhaps a move if he does want to come back in. If not, I'm happy for suggestions of new people coming in. Coastlisman and Dowie, interesting. And we'll do one more game kind of to finish out the stream. As I still want to get through the 5 initial games. We've unfortunately had to cut and change quite a lot of stuff, but it's all good. It'd be all good. Oh, that's rough. Oh, Raptor coming in strong. Okay. So, F-Pod, really nice counter pick here. Does ban the Coast and pick Skaven. So that's going to force either Lizman or Dowie, who both do struggle up against the force of Skaven. But looks like Raptor was ready for this with a little cheeky winky face and the Lizmen. So we get to see some more Lizmen. He has destroyed them. Now he shall become them. Of course, Raptor, by his name, you can tell, is a bit of a Lizman player himself. Should be some good stuff. Cool, cool. And so this message. Cool. May have a backup for the last place in case Ice Power can't make it. Just saw that in Discord now for you guys. But yeah, if you've got any questions, now is the perfect time to ask them in this nice little bit of downtime. But yeah, huge thank you, by the way, to everyone who has been tuning in and supporting it in recent weeks. We're up to like 650 subscribers now, which is pretty damn crazy. And the videos, we've had like quite a few go up, kind of in the higher echelons of the hundreds, and a couple go over the 1,000 mark recently as well, which is pretty damn insane. So thank you for your continued support, all your subscriptions, likes and comments. It really does mean quite a lot. And obviously feel free to join my Discord as well if you want to get involved in King of the Hills and so forth in the future. Cool. So these guys just assign their matchups. Plane of Spiders, one of those maps that I've been slowly bringing in more and more into my tournaments, as I think it's a pretty damn good map overall. Oh no, it looks like my phone disconnects from the internet. Hang on. Bam. Cool, I'm back. I'm back. So this is the last kind of thrown together at the last second type stream, which is kind of organised in about 20 minutes. So big shout out to players again, really in such a short time, which of course does mean we have a bit more downtime here as people try and organise themselves and so forth. But we hopefully have a stream tomorrow as well. It may be my Imric campaign stream, which has been a ton of fun so far. I believe we're 3 episodes in. We've made some horrendous mistakes, but also gained a ton of world-beating dragons, and our army is just ridiculous. It has like 4 dragons or something at this point, and is incredibly powerful. So I'll do one of the two. I'll either do that or another kind of multiplayer stream. Maybe another Come At Me Bros series. Those were pretty damn good fun. Looks like Mr. F-Pod is ready, as well as Raptor. Good luck, good luck. Always good to see nice sportsmanship, of course. Which is very key, obviously, to getting consistent kind of acceptance to being, you know, King of the Hills and tournaments and that type of stuff. And all that good stuff. So here we go. Plane of Spiders. There's a nice little bit of trees on this right-hand flank, so you can do some sneaky stabbings, but at the same time, it's relatively open, so and it's very good for a commentator like myself, but you can often see quite a lot. Oh my god. What is this? What? Part of the map is invisible. There was a desync in the game existing. What on earth was that? I have never seen that before. That was weird. Okay, we're not doing that map next time. Raptor and F-Pod. Cool. So, yeah, it's still up there. So they're still playing in it. That was weird as hell. Take 2. That's why I'm talking about beaters, guys. That's why you'll hear me complain every single stream until they stop doing it. Until it goes live. So we'll have to change the map. We'll try and choose an equal one. So Toothgrass Hill, I think, is a good map. Cool. And we will invite them over. Oh, looks like I don't have F-Pod as a friend, so hopefully they see my Discord message. Let's message them PM as well, just to ensure they can get it. Hey, Raptor has back. Hey. The same builds, but I've changed the map just in case. You quit out. Okay. Thank you, F-Pod. What's up, Zutron Smith? How's it going, dude? Yes, Raptor versus F-Pod. The map, like, that was weird. Has anyone had that before? Like, the map was... This. I suppose this is the good thing about beaters, is they can kind of sort out these bugs and so forth. I'm actually going to write that down to send into some of the guys. There's that plane of spiders. I've had so many issues with the beaters this time around. Normally they've been completely fine, but this one I've had so many problems with getting people and stuff. Salted Goose Lord indeed. Cool, looks like the boys are ready. Let's pray Toothgrass Hill is different. That was so bizarre. Oh well. Here we go again. Those raptures protrude through the cables. Man, they've been doing it. Wicked D! Indeed, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm not sure how I haven't made Wicked D like an admin of my Discord yet. Every new Discord I join, like I'm like, oh, someone, you know, Air of Carthage or someone has a Discord. Wicked D would be there, like like a run in it. It's really funny. Okay, we're loading in this time. Glorious stuff. Oh, yes, Raptor. Trying to win the hearts of the people, I see, as much as possible. So, for the forces of Raptor and the glorious Lizardmen, we do have the mighty Gorok on foot, twirling around his mace here. Now, Gorok is very powerful against certain people. I can see him doing good against Skaven because he's very tanky. He does, in fact, have his mace and the Shield of Eons. He has all his stuff that looks it. Rock of Itza as well is incredibly powerful. So really cool stuff overall. His main battle line is simply going to be skink cohorts, red-crested skinks as well with the cohort of Sotek, as well as triple cohorts with javelin. So a very small build because he has Terror Riders with fire leech bows up in the sky, and Ancient Salamander. Interesting pick. I suppose it's going to tear apart Storm Vermin very effectively with its long-range fireballs, as well as... Oh, it's not any! It's... I thought it was just a basic one. We have the Shredder of Lustria Raptor. You absolute beast. Look at this glorious model. One of my favourite models in the entire game. I do use him from time to time, but he's not overly effective. We have Lord Croak as well, coming in with the Supreme Shield of the old ones. That plus 44 damage resistance is very powerful, as well, of course, as coming with the Deliverance of Itza. Those pizzas will be bombing this Skaven battle line. Now, against a Death Blob build, this could be relatively effective, but let's have a quick look. So for the forces of F-Pod here, Double Gutter Runner with poison are pushed up slightly in a nice vanguard position. We then have a ton of clan rats with shields dotted all around. The council guard, so the regiment round storm vermin, are going to have to be taken out with the ancient salamander, otherwise they'll do fantastic work up against the shredder himself. More Skaven slave slingers in reserve, as well as some clan rats dotted around. We have rat ogres, looks like 2 units of those bad boys to protect the back line, which is a nice pick. I quite like those guys quite a bit. We have warp lightning cannons as well to put pressure on the enemy from long range. We have an assassin who's going to be working as a bodyguard for Lord Skroak, coming in with all the expected stuff: the Liber Bubonicus as well as the Road of Corruption, Pestilent Breath, Vile Tide, and Aura of Pestilence, of course. All pretty decent stuff. This is a pretty wild build, just making sure there's nothing in any secret hidden vanguards or anything. And these poor Totem Riders are going to get absolutely destroyed if they get too close. Slingers can do some pretty decent work up against them, and that Warp Lightning Cannon also made a good connection. Good luck, have fun, always fantastic to see. Who's going to win this? I don't know, man. Someone should mod it to look like the Shredder from Ninja Turtles, my dude. That is such a good idea, yes. I'm gonna leave that up to you to sort out, I'm afraid, though. Terran Rise doing some pretty decent damage to Lord Skroak. No, mostly nothing, unfortunately, and they're being taken out. Yeah, they definitely need to be pulled back and kept in a more of a deep reserve. I mean, I suppose for the one advantage the Lizardmen do have here is the Warp Lightning Cannon has to choose. Does it try and hit the Ancient Salamander? Does it hit Lord Skroak? Or does it hit the Shredder? There's all kind of, you know, different things for them to pull out. Skink Holds are going to be pushing these gutter runners wide, making them waste ammos on little skink boys, which is obviously nothing too scary. Oh, I missed. We have the clan of Vulcan Tail Slashers, the Beric Dundarians of the rat race with their flaming swords. Going to be pretty cool. Plague Monk summon in the front line is going to be disgustingly powerful, as they will munch through skinks incredibly quickly. You don't really want to waste javelins on them either, because of course they are simply a summon. Some skink cohorts are engaging on the left-hand flank, but rat ogres are going to be crumping in, going for those absolute body slams, flinging these skink cohorts all round the place. Ancient Salamander is doing some really good damage to the Council Guard, however, and he has got to the main line pretty much unimpeded here. We do have a Supreme Shield of the Old Ones going down on the cohort of Sotek, and in comes the first boom as well from the mighty Lord Kroak, decimating those clan rats and breaking them instantly. We need to do that on the clan of Vulcans as well at some point, but there's not really too much meat to this Lizardman force. In comes the Shredder, but the Liber has been popped down on him. He has 0 heals, and the Warp Lightning Cannons have turned to engage as well. Now, the Shredder can be very good at taking down Cav, and he's not too bad going 1-to-1 against big monsters, but when there's little rats around him, such as these Council Guard, his attack animations get really kind of bogged up, and he ends up attacking these guys instead of the Helper. We do have another blast going down here, but unfortunately it was on the Plague Monks who had already disappeared, so unfortunately tiny bit of misplay coming in by the mighty Lizardmen there. Shield of Eons has been popped, plus 60 armor and expert charge defense is coming down on this Shredder, so he's going to be incredibly tanky, working at a ridiculous 160 armor here, taking those shots like an absolute champ. The Assassin has been terrified wide here. Looks like the Skink Cult of Javelins is desperately trying to save this Ancient Salamander, but I think he is going to be going down. Lord Skroak also just kind of floated around, bobbing about. Needs to drop some big old boom shots down on the Counter Guard, who have pulled down the Shredder, unfortunately. The Shredder is no longer the Apex Predator. Artillery is the new Don in the new world, and unfortunately we can see the light leaving his eyes. It looks like he did manage to munch on a Skaven though on his deathbed here. Now Gorok's still very tanky, but unfortunately I think the game is starting to fall away from the Lizardmen. Looks like, oh, this could be huge. It depends how powerful it is going to be. What level is it? Bam! Looks like unfortunately it was just the small blast there. Still did some okay damage. It looks like he may be running out of Winds of Magic. Ancient Salamander is managing to hunt down this assassin here, and to be honest, Lord Kroak does have Assassin's Trophy popped on him, but he still punches like an absolute tank. 450 weapon strength is going to decimate the assassin with every hit that does come in. The assassin is being forced wide here. There's a lot of rat ogres alive. Lord Skroak is full health. Gorok is unfortunately surrounded, and nothing's been able to shut down this Warp Lightning Cannon. There's some skink cohorts here in the back line, but they're going to be cleared up by gutter runners, to be honest. And yeah, I think this, unfortunately, the king may fall, so we may have another one-time king. Rat ogres are starting to pound in here. Lord Kroak trying his little best, trying his heart out. We drop in some of those fat spells, but yeah, could be a little bit too much for the fella, I'm afraid. Gorok trying his best. The Rock of Itza has been popped. He does have a nice physical resistance now, but he is slowly going to be dragged down. Looks like we are going to see another deliverance of Itza pop, but it's probably going to be the weakest one once again. Nice Supreme Shield of the Old Ones being used as well. And boom, down it comes, doing some decent damage despite the fact it's so low. It's very surprising there's so many of these rats left. 64 guys on just 1,900 health, but I suppose each swing of this mighty mace, many counter guard will fall. Up to 6 kills only, Gorok though. Army losses does set in, and we have a new king. All hail F-Pod. Love they brought Croak. Indeed, man. Indeed. No healing versus a regen monster. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Gonna be tough. Looks like we do have some Red Crested Skinks fighting gloriously to the bitter end here. Surrounded by clan rats. How many of these boys do we have? 13. And if anyone's going to fight to death up against the Skaven, it would certainly be some of the Henowin's most loyal guard here. Coming in, swinging their mighty hammers with some really cool attack animations. See Lord Skrog scuttling around in the distance. Down to just 8 models, these guys unfortunately are going to be pulled apart here. He needs to pop Refuse to Die. It looks like a summon coming down as well. Is it Plague Monks? No, just basic clan rats coming in, and the Rat Ogre's going to get some nice body slams as well. Poor Red Crested just get run over a little bit. And down they go. Super fun match though, and once again, some really fun builds. 3,700 health and no heals. GG indeed. Very fun game overall. Perhaps the last Red Crested can get some incredible RNG. I believe Bolicus has been popped on them, but they have refused to die. They're currently rocking 0 health, which is pretty damn hilarious. And how many models do they have? Oh, it's impossible to tell. And down they go, unfortunately. GG's overall. Fun game. Raps has certainly been the champion of the people today. Coming in with some wild builds indeed. So we should still hopefully have 2 games left on us. So it depends if Ice Power can make it. Oh no, 1 game left, I'm afraid. How many have we done? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But either way, F-Pod will be the new king here. GG, well played. All hail. Good sport by Raptor. All hail the king. So F-Pod is up. So Ice Power says he may be able to make it, but it's not looking too likely. So Raptor unfortunately does fall, and F-Pod will be taking the crown here. So unfortunately we have no one left on the list because we had so many dropouts today that if anyone from chat would like a chance to compete, feel free. And we'll hop in here and have one last game, I think. Sweet, we'll be switching maps as well. Let's go for Alpine Ridge. So yes, if anyone in chat would like to make it, either Wicked D, Zootron Smith, any of you guys, if you do have the update, please do let me know, and we'll get you in here. Worst comes to worst, I can always compete myself. Raptor won the hearts, if not our match. That last Red Crest, 1 model left with 0 health, and got the refuse to die in time, which is pretty damn funny. So, we do have time for 1 more competitor, I think. Let's see. I've seen Poison Ducky's just hopped on the line, but I think he may be making a video or something himself. So, let's see. Ice Power has missed me. Dun, dun, dun. Cool, I'll quickly drop a message on the Discord. Cool, Ice Power's so close. So close. Hopefully I can get it done. Oh, looks like Poison Ducky has arrived. Mwahaha, I knew it! I knew he was sneaking in. Let's delete my message there then. Boom. Cool. I'll message Ice Power afterwards if you're listening. Cool. I'm going to try and organise an event with Ice Power anyway in a second, because he's missed a couple of events, unfortunately, due to these type of problems. This is the final game. Winner takes all. F-pod. Oh, I'll call him King F-pod. King F-pod to pick 3. And Ducky to ban. And pick. Awesome stuff. Got to avenge that red crest. I think we're going to do Alpine Ridge just to sum up these guys trying to climb. Cool, cool. So I'm going to try and organise maybe a live stream tomorrow featuring Ice Power. I might be able to get like a best of 5 up against someone. Could be some good stuff. So let us change the scoreboard to the mightiest of all boys and duckies. I'll do Empire, Skaven, and Lizards. Awesome, awesome. Poison Ducky is a Vampire Count's main, a very powerful one at that. So I can certainly see him banning the Lizardman here. Personally, as a Lizardman player, the 2 factions I hate the most after... So I hate Pirates and Skaven the most to face, but after that, honestly, I hate facing Counts and I hate facing Beastmen, despite the fact Lizardmen have strong counters to them, because everyone knows they have strong counters. If they've picked that into you, you know they're going to go pretty damn hard. And I don't know, it feels like there's a lot more like less you can do, because you have 1 or 2 really good options against those, which is kind of like large box dino blobs, and I don't particularly like playing that way too much myself. I do like it from time to time. But yeah, so you kind of get forced to play a certain way, unfortunately. But looks like we are going to see some more Skavens. So F-Pod's certainly trying to represent the Rat Boys today. So we are going to be seeing the Vampire Counts versus the Skaven. A pretty fun matchup. Can the slow-moving blob overtake the defensive position? Alpine Ridge does sort of count as me map, so I'm happy. Awesome. I actually really like Alpine Ridge as a competitive map more because it's kind of quite thematic of the 2 guys crawling to the top of the hill, trying to raise that bloody crown above everyone else and claim it victorious. Victorious. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. This is going to be the last game of the stream. Just a short stream today because I still need to go out and get food and stuff, and I was rather busy during the day. But yeah, if you guys have been enjoying, please do feel free to pump that big old thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as we continue on our road to 1,000 subscribers. That's my next kind of landmark I'm trying to reach. Maybe 750 should be a celebration stream as well. Could be some good fun. Good stuff all round. QQ. And we'll get working as well soon on that audiobook stream. Or not stream, audiobook videos. Not sure how it's going to go. There's probably going to be a lot of elven names that I'm famous for mispronouncing. So, way back in the day, me and my mates used to love Warhammer, like, as a game, but when we were really little, we enjoyed it as well, but obviously we didn't know the rules. It was a bit too confusing for us as kind of little kids. And we obviously just played amongst ourselves, made up our own rules, looked at the rule books, and collected the models and all that kind of stuff. We, because it's so embarrassing, but because we didn't know the names, we only spoke about ourselves, me and my mate called Teclis and Tyrion for years, Tyron and Tesselis, I believe, were our names. And we believed that was their names until, like, way, 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 way too late. We're going up to people and like, oh yeah, Tesselis, he's an amazing wizard, and Triron. But of course we have, unfortunately. I think we should change the names back to those names, personally, but they have been changed. I'm pumping away. That sounds pretty interesting. Oh, the thumbs up button. Okay, cool. Awesome stuff. So yeah, we will be having the difficulty on it probably next week if I can get the competitors together, because this beta, the fact they've updated it means it's going to go on forever, I'm afraid. But I'll have to test out all the maps prior as well to see if any of them are bugged or anything. So I think it was playing as spiders we had problems with. But we will see. We will endure. Raptor will be proud. Oh god, is Poison Ducky going Mimi? How many ethereal units can they bring? I suppose you get the double Banshees, can get the Hex Wraiths and stuff. Hex Wraiths could be really good here, actually. I mean, the Skaven do have access to a decent amount of magic damage, but fast-moving ethereal Cav to run over the Skaven lines could do some good work. Ready, good luck, have fun. Let's get this battle cracking. And here we go. Alpine Ridge, an OG map, actually was featured in the first ever Total War game, Rome Total War. But it's gone through a lot of changes since then. It used to be a horrible map, now it's actually pretty damn cool. So you have this big hill in the middle, which screams your opponent's deployment as well, which is why I really like it. Because it kind of, you then raise over the hill. There's so many like tactical options. Do you push around the hill? Do you ignore the hill? Do you shoot your opponent off the top of it? All kinds of nice stuff. We do have some trees on this left-hand flank, but the majority of the woods are on this right-hand side, towered and shadowed over by this mighty mountain, which looks like a big old tooth has erupted from the world. And you often see people push through these trees to try and get some sneaky stabbings around the side of their opponents. And the Vampire Counts certainly not going to rush the hill very effectively, so they're most likely going to want to kind of dart around the side, I would assume, for the most part. Perhaps just even filter in one or two zombies while they try and get value from Terrorgeist and so forth. Breath attacks, nasty spells. Make me proud, Ducky. I'm sure he will try his best, Raptor. And here we go. So for the forces of the Counts, we have a decent amount of Cav. We have Verix Reavers. Hell yes. These guys look so goddamn badass and we never get to see them. The Regiment of Renowned Black... where are they? Where are they gone? Black Knights. I was going to say Black Riders. I was like, that's not right. I know it's not right. So we do have triple Black Knights by the looks of it. Oh no, 1 unit of Blood Knights, 1 unit of Black Knights, and 1 unit of the Verix Reavers. These guys are particularly awesome because of the fact they have a regeneration, which is very cool. Up in the skies, we have a Fellbat. We have a Black Coach, one of Poison Ducky's favourite units, and I've seen him use that thing to devastating effect. For his main battle line, he does simply have Skeleton Spearmen dotted all the way along, as well as a load of zombies, the true backbone for any force, and I see why. I see the schemes. I see why Raptor is going to be proud. We have a Necromancer on a Corpse Cart with Rod of... not Rod of Corruption. I'll go back and check what that's called again. Corpse Cart of Unholy Lodestone on the left-hand side. Let's see what it is. We have the Forbidden Rod. There we go. And Raised Dead. And in the centre pocket, we have Helman Gorst. Considered by most to be the worst lord in the game. In my opinion, he's the second worst. He does have the Liber Noctis with him. Wind of Death. Invocation of Mehek. My god, what is this? Awakening Grave, though he can summon some Graveguard, which, you know, doesn't make him completely useless. So a pretty wild build coming in. Now for the forces of the Skaven, we do have Rat Ogres, it looks like dotted on either flank. The main line, Skaven Slaves to soak up damage. And then Poison Wind Globadiers. Oh, this is so cool to get to see these guys in action. They're going to certainly do some decent work. Plague Monks as well in that centre pocket. Once again, he's gone for his Loyal Council Guard in his centre as well. Backing all of this up is going to be a couple of units of Clan Rats, so no kind of long-range artillery, which is pretty good fun to see. It does have a Hell Pit Abomination, as well as a Plague Priest, who's having the time of his life here, just cackling at the front here on this Plague Furnace. Nope, looks like it's... there we go. Coming in with the Vermintide, as well as a Pestilence Breath. We have an Assassin as well hidden down here, and for his Lord choice, I'm assuming it's going to be... Oh no! It's Ittic Claw, rolling dirty, doing his Jax Teller Sons of Anarchy impression. Going to be cackling crazily here inside of this glorious device. Coming with unlimited power, Brass Orb, as well as Warp Lightning. Two really fun builds. I think the Corpse Carts are going to get systematically destroyed, unfortunately, probably by the Hell Pits. But it's going to be some good fun overall. This is some pretty crazy stuff. Mortis Engine as well down here. Good luck, have fun. This is some wild stuff. Yo, what's up, dude? What's up, Coffee Man? Hope you're all good. You've made it just in time for the final game here. But no, don't worry, this whole video will be uploaded. Unfortunately, it's taken, I think, YouTube ever since the coronavirus kind of hit and there's been a lockdown and stuff. Or I'm assuming they're struggling a little bit because all of my uploads from streams now take like 8 hours or something instead of the half hour they took previously, which is pretty insane. But the whole thing will be uploaded after as well. We had some pretty fun games, quite a lot of chilling in between games as well, so you can always feel free to skip forward to the battles. One Mighty Fellbat has fallen here. Claw getting the first blood. as the Skaven are going to be taking the hill. So unfortunately, the Counts are going to have to be fighting an uphill battle, but they have the mighty the Tide, the regiment around zombies here, so they can do some good work. It's a Claw just zooming around, just trying to hack a little bit of a inkling on what the opponent does have. Now, the Black Coach will do ridiculously good value here overall. The Rat Ogres can shut him down as well as the Hell Pit, but good micro play may be able to keep him alive. Looks like a few more shots going into the Felbats, but missing here as the glorious frontline engagement we've all been waiting for. Skaven Slaves up against zombies. Let's get overrun here. So Verdict Reavers lance their way into the front line, pulling apart these Skaven Slaves. Rat Ogres do try to countercharge the Blood Knights, but have overextended heavily here. Honestly, get these Black Knights, wrap around and punish the back of these Rat Ogres. Blood Knights, of course, do have that anti-large, so they're doing fine here. These guys really need to push down and shatter these Rat Ogres as quickly as possible. It's like a warp line is coming down, though, to help that engagement over on that side. Zombies have managed to push through the Skaven Slaves. A big wind of death coming down that back line, roasting some clan rats as well as the poison wind Globadiers. Not a bad cast overall. It does look like the Council Guard managed to escape, so it could have done some better work. Verdict Reavers have managed to push through and break the poison wind Globadiers before falling back here. And Black Knights as well, not doing too bad overall, but they have taken a bit of a beating for the undead gods, but Rat Ogres are also breaking at the same time. This is a wild game, so much going on all in one go, so massive micro by both players. Looks like over on this high ground, Skaven Slaves are going to be getting crushed here by a combination of Corpse Cart and Black Coach, which needs to get moving and pushing into the back line, but there's a ton of micro needed for both players. So some clan rats have completely shattered. These Poison Globadiers will probably come back, but it looks like the Verdict Reavers are truly reaving through the back line now. A nice counter charge coming in, but it looks like the clan rats. But yeah, Poison Globadiers have been shut down by these bad boys, up to 39 kills. At the same time, they're taking a huge amount of damage as well. In the centre pocket, we see one of the Corpse Cards does get annihilated here by the Hellhead. With a White King, who I missed earlier, who is trying his best to go toe-to-toe, but he's getting flung down. And this could come down to the single entities of the Skaven against the world. Helm Gorst is, you know, alive, which is good for him. Up to 83 kills! Oh, I suppose the Wind of Death. But still, you know, he's doing his best. He's living his best life here. The Morris Engine is getting in here and starting to pull down some of the clan rats, which is a really nice play. Black Coach as well, up to 42 kills. Looks like the Blood Knights have pushed into the back line on top of those Poison Wind Mortars, shutting them down. But Rat Ogres are on their tail. This is a healthy unit of Rat Ogres coming in. Are we going to see another glorious Wind of Death? We do. Coming down, but a really nice dodge by F-Pod. Looks like the clan rats were caught, but the Council Card, for the most part, managed to avoid that. Maybe kill some of these Skaven Slaves as well, but getting some okay connection there, but not enough for what it's worth. Blood Knights are starting to struggle here. They are just starting to fall back from this engagement, which is a really good idea. A couple of invocations and they could suddenly be back into fighting ways. The Black Coach is going to do some very effective cycle charging, and this is pretty good. The Morris Engine on top of the Council Guard is actually... They do have anti-enlarge, but it's relatively good here for Poison Daffy, as it will be draining these guys constantly, a unit which is rather sticky and tough to deal with. The White King going toe-to-toe with the Assassin here. Magic and Animus has been popped up in his leadership. Some really cool attack animations coming from the Assassins. I love some of their flips and all their kind of badass moves. It looks like the Assassin is running for the hills here, though, being forced back. Helen Gorse going strong into the late game. 119 kills. He is not to be messed with, but there is nothing left to deal with this Hell Pit Abomination. Looks like Blood Knights, 11 models on these guys. Perhaps if these guys get held up, they'll be able to do some work against the Hell Pit, but apart from them, it's going to be a big struggle affair, I think, for the Count. Still very close coming into this late game. Etic Claw is incredibly healthy as well. Looks like a bit of a swing and a miss. Unfortunately, we'll go for F attack. Herman Gorse is doing okay. A nice summon as well of Clan Rats. Now, I haven't seen if he summoned his Grave Guard yet. That could be pretty key in the late game. Corpse Cart is unfortunately being dragged down by Etic Claw, though the Black Coach comes bundling in here, up in its damage output the longer the game does go on. 76 is pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, nice brass orb coming down, helping clear up these skeleton spearmen. It doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as it used to, but combined as well with a lightning strike coming down, these skeleton spearmen have been absolutely punished. Helman Gorse is trying to go toe-to-toe here with the Plague Priest. I don't think that's going to go too well for our boy Helman. It looks like the Counts are unfortunately getting pulled down. Count's power is swinging against them. The Morse Engine is getting dragged down by the Hell Pit Abomination, as well as the Council Guard, who have taken a bit of a beating, down to 56 models. And Black Coach as well, still 101 kills. I think the single entities are just going to be a little bit too much. Blood Knights are still alive though, up to 1,000 health and 11 models, are getting pinned in by Rat Ogres, unfortunately. Perhaps if they got some really good healing, this game isn't all kind of spent yet, but I think this Counts build would have been much better against a more defensive Skaven build. The single entities of the Plague Priest and the Hell Pit Abomination are just too much for them to handle, I think. We do have the Count's Garden here, still going pretty strong with 35 models. And down on the low ground, Blood Knights from Invocation Heck have desperately charged into Ittic Claw to attempt to bring him down. But with his healthy Abomination as a bodyguard, who is basically full health here, is going to be really nice. A lovely breath attack coming through is pulling up the chaff of the zombies and the skeleton spearmen. Then leaving the White King and poor Helman Gorst all alone. He is up to 149 kills, which, you know, got to give him some credit. It's pretty impressive overall for being one of the worst lords in the game. Now, Mortis Engine is going to be rolling through here, hopping on top of these Plague Monk Sensor Bearers, who are actually quite a nice pick in this matchup, up to 96 kills. They can tear through the chaff relatively quickly. You can see the Rat Ogres as well, doing just fine down here on the low ground, starting to waver a little bit, but they should come back to winning ways shortly. Ittic Claw as well is relatively healthy, although the Plague Priest has had some work done on him. The Health Abomination is now surrounded by the White King as well as Helman Gorst, but Helman has been absolutely worked on. He's desperately trying to heal up here with help from the Mortar Engine, but I think he's going to go down here, guys. He's 360 squealing those wheels all around the place. The Health Abomination gives no crap here at all. And yeah, Helman's getting slapped into the Infinity Realm right now. And unfortunately, down the Mighty Man goes. And with that, so goes the entire Vampire Count's build, basically. Army losses are starting to set in. No Ghost! Boys and Ducky are weeping there for his buddy. The Black Coach can certainly do some work and clear up basically the remainder of the chaff of the Skaven units, but it certainly cannot do the work against these big single entities. Up to 150 kills, that is very impressive stuff overall. Poison Wing Globers taking a cheeky breath attack there. I think that's actually from a White King ability. The Ring, perhaps? I think that's from him. The Black Coach, trying his little heart out here, going toe-to-toe with some Rat Ogres, going to be falling back as well and roaming after these Poison Wing Globers, which is a good pick. We can follow this guy for a little while. There's that coffin in the back is horrifying. It kind of blobs up and down a little bit. And in it comes, running over these poison winds, who do get terrified and pushed back. And here we have the ultimate showdown. So these Skaven got beat up pretty damn bad, considering the very meme-heavy Vampire Count's build. But it's not quite going to be enough, as the Black Coach is getting destroyed there. And down it goes. King F-Pod shall reign supreme there. Ever see Corpse Cot and Corpse Cot action? It's glorious. You're making me want to see it now. There is nothing worse in Warhammer 2 than being nudged to death by Corpse Cot's sloth-like charge bonus. Oh, it's so true. It is so true. I have no idea who are Colton, but I will. If you can please stop rampaging on, otherwise I will unfortunately have to kick you from the chat, my dude. The old Gorst, GG. All hail the king. Just pop out into here. Kill. So I've chucked him in a timeout there. Cute. Yeah, basically just don't spam chat, please. And there we go. So that's going to be wrapping us up there quite nicely. So F-Pod is going to be this week's king. Once again, apologies about it being just a short stream with only 4 or 5 games. I think 5 overall. But with some pretty good fun. So let's say congrats to the king. Well done, almighty king. You are this week's champion. Let's update the scoreboard for him. Boom. There we go. So winning it 2-0. We did have multiple kings today. Raptor and Red Legion also going on a 1-win streak, but F-Pod coming in with the 2-0 to end it there. It's a bot, seems to appear in multiple streams. Yeah, I've seen it before in other Total War streams, unfortunately. That was a pretty fun build overall. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll stick around for a couple of minutes if you have any questions and so forth, but massive shout out for you guys for tuning in. And yeah, supporting the stream, it does really help, so thank you again for all the likes and subscribes. Tamanton, how's it going, my dude? Good to see you around, man. Thanks, man. Fun games. See you soon, King F-Pod. Awesome stuff. that was indeed a fun, cheap Gorse build, so he could still go quite wide. Going cheap with Gorse can work relatively well. The Wind of Death, or whatever it's called, was really good, fun stuff overall as well. Got some pretty huge kills, but couldn't quite get the damage on that second one, so it kind of missed a lot of the key units. Q. And it looks like if that is going to be it, thanks for stream. No worries, man. You can always go back and watch the previous stuff, so don't worry about it. It will all be uploaded. It takes a while to upload nowadays, unfortunately, but it will be there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Anyway, guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.